Hey everyone, welcome back to the virtual classroom. I'm here today just to show you how to use Google Slides and make it editable. So mainly to make it editable for your kids. Now, I don't recommend this resource, so make sure you stick to the end to see which one I would recommend. But you do you, and so if this is what you really want to do, by all means I'll show you. But don't worry, the same steps will apply. It's just, it'll be in a different resource if you want to see that other one. So make sure you just watch the whole thing, unless you're just like going home, I'm just going to use Google Slides. So I'll show you either way. It's fine. So, but okay, let's go ahead and dive in. So the first thing you're going to need is your resource, right? So it's either going to already be saved, or maybe you need to pull it back up on your teacher paid teachers and your purchases. So that way you have it handy. Regardless, just make sure you have it, right? So you need a PDF resource for this particular tutorial. So I'm just grabbing this one that I like. It's a graphic organizer for summarizing by Wendy Smith. So you'll just, I downloaded it. It's on my computer. And then you're going to go to Google and Google PDF to JPEG. And so I like this particular one, small PDF. I use it a lot for a variety of reasons, but it gets the job done. So I'm just going to go there. I'm now going to find the file on my computer. So mine's under download. That's just where my stuff automatically downloads. I'm going to find the resource and then open it. And it's uploading. Now this is pro, this costs, but if you're like, man, I just really want one part of this, I've shown how to do that in other tutorials, but I'll show you again. If you're only wanting one part of a resource, I would use a resource like this, like Snip in Sketch, which is, I think, on every single Microsoft computer. If you're using a Mac, I don't know what they use, so you might just Google it. Like, how do I take a screen clipping of my desktop on a Mac? So, but this, you'll just click new and then select just whatever part and then you can save it. But we are wanting, for this tutorial, we want the whole page. So my best advice for you is to then convert the entire pages. So if it has several pages, it will turn every single page into a separate image. And then you'll just choose that option. It's then going to download it as a zip. I'm hopeful that you know how to extract a zip. It's pretty simple. You just hit the extract button up on the top when you open up the resource, and then it's good to go. So then it's good to go. Mine's ready to go, and so I'm now going to the Google slide. And for me and my students, I want everything to be easy. Now, this a lot of times means upfront work for me. It never seems to be like, hey, it's easy for the kids, but not super easy for for the teachers. But hey, it's super easy for the teachers this time, but it's kind of difficult for the kids. That's how most resources work for whatever reason. I'm okay with doing the upfront work because they'll make it simple for kids. But again, I want something that's going to be simple as it can be for all of us. So this is not one I would consider super simple for everybody, and this is why I don't recommend it. But you do you. I support you, which is why I'm making this video for you. So anyway, I want this to be, the long story short, I want this to be simple for me and my kids, so I want this to be the same size of the resources that I'm using. So in this case, the resource is like same size as a piece of paper. So you'll go to File, it'll most likely start up at the top, and you'll scroll down to Page Setup, and you're going to change it to a custom and the size of the paper. You can change that to whatever you want, but it loads nicely when it's the same size of your resource. Hit Apply, and now it's good to go. Now you just need to make this the resource, but in a way that your students won't be able to move it or change it around. This is where you'll change it to the background. So, a lot of times your PowerPoints have backgrounds, right? In this case, the background is going to be the resource. So you go to Slides, change background. And then the image, this is why you needed it to be an image. So then you're going to browse, which is, mine should still be wherever I extracted it. So remember, it downloaded as a zip, you extracted it, and now it's a file, and it's ready to go. And you just upload it. And now it's ready to go. Okay, and this ends your tutorial. You can either make the text boxes for your kids, or you can let them do that themselves. I would also probably make another slide with the actual story. So then I could say underline to somebody, or put a box around the wanted, whatever. But again, this is not my favorite resource because I have to go kid by kid to see every single slide, right? I can't see somebody at once. But on other resources, you can. So I'm going to show you an example of something that I did the other day for my K-12 health and fitness clubs. We did an escape room for a hospital where we learned about viruses and how they spread and how we can stop the spread. Right? That seems appropriate for this time. So this is something that they did. My kids loved it. It was super easy for them to use. We had never used this before in my clubs. And most of them had never used a resource like this. And they thought it was super fun. So in this case, my kids had to highlight and type out the most important information about viruses that could help save them. In this case, I ultimately asked them, what is a virus? And so they had to go through here and highlight and type out what they thought answered that question and would also be useful to help them escape the hospital. So this is just page 1. And don't worry, all these names it's on anonymous, so it's all FERPA friendly, so don't worry about it. And what I love about this is that I can see everyone's individual answers, what they individually highlighted, and then I can overlay it to see what everyone highlighted. So they all thought this right here was the answer. This is and the most important information, right? I can also come over here and see their reasoning. What I love about Desmos as well is that they have a multiple choice option with an explain, and it will put their multiple choice answer with their explanation right underneath it. So all of it's right there. Super handy. And super organized. And so I love this resource. I think it's underutilized. It's mainly for math, but I obviously use it for reading a lot. And the kids loved it. They thought it was so fun. If you're doing this in a live session, you can paste it. So you can say, I only want them to look at these pages. And then now that locks it. They can manipulate themselves through here. I'm going to tag my Desmos video right up there. Right here in this general area you should see. And that can take you to where the Desmos tutorial is and how I use it in virtual classroom. But this is the resource I would use. So on page 1, I'd have the story. On page 2, I'd ask them to identify the somebody with the story and with the box where they had to put it in, or a multiple choice, and they had to choose their answer and then explain why they chose that answer and highlight the textual evidence. And then if I'm still going on this summary aspect, then I go wanted, but, and then at the very end, ask them to actually write out the summary. Now, I realize that's taking this one slide and turning it into several, but them just focusing on that one question really will help your kids who get distracted. You'll also get more information out of them because they then have to highlight, type it out, or pick the best answer and explain, which will deepen their, it takes that DOK level even up higher. So it really enriches their thinking and their level of learning. So this is my best advice for you. But again, if you're just set on using your Google Slide, by all means, do it. There you go. But I hope that you will choose something that's more efficient for your time and more fun for your kids. But I support you because I realize that maybe you want your kids to make a presentation. There is a place for Google Slides. Not saying that there's not. But I am saying if it's something like where you want them to manipulate content, there's other resources out there that I think are better, and that's my opinion. You can have your own. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Remember, sharing is caring, except for the coronavirus. Don't share that. Make sure you wash your hands. But go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and share. And make sure you like this, right? And then also, comment. What resources do you like that might be like GoFormative or Slides or Desmos that can be used to see a lot of kids' responses, but they can manipulate the content as well. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye!